Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most important projects in DeFi, a project that after I outlined my thesis as to the future of the DeFi industry, as to the future of the crypto and blockchain industry, really the future of financial industries, I hope you'll agree with me that this project has insane potential, even though it's already done tremendous gains. And if you're a DeFi lover, this project will most certainly be already on your radar. The reality is that you need to understand just how big the addressable market is for a product like this towards derivatives are, just how big the trend towards decentralization has been over the recent months and years. And with those factors wrapped up and understanding the objectives and functionality of this platform, I hope you'll agree with me that this could be a sleeping giant, not just here in the altcoin space, not just within the DeFi meme, but this platform could have much further reaching implications than that. And the project I'm talking about today is called Synthetix. Now, if you're excited to hear why I think Synthetix is not only one of the premier tokens in the space, but has the potential to be another 100, maybe 1,000, maybe even higher than that multiple moonshot from where it stands today at an already impressive market cap of hundreds of millions of dollars, then do me a favor and smash that like button, because I'm about to outline for you some significant trends, significant data points that I think point to a multi-year growth pattern for a coin like Synthetix. And if you're excited for what I have to share, do me a favor, smash that like button, obliterate it, destroy it, make sure it never comes back. And once you've done that, let's begin. Now, before I hop in, obviously I'm gonna address the fact that I'm wearing my classic McAfee FUD shirt. If you guys have been watching lately, McAfee's just been on a tear, coming out with articles about why he never thought Bitcoin was of any use or utility, essentially just pumping that FUD machine, as McAfee has been known to do. Obviously, he's an entertaining guy in the space, but I think this shirt about says it all. Now, first, let's talk about what Synthetix is, what it does, and then I'm gonna explain to you the implications of the growth of this particular industry within DeFi and beyond. Synthetix is a decentralized synthetic asset issuance protocol, allowing users to mint, hold, and trade a diverse range of derivatives, including fiat currencies, commodities, and stocks, as well as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin Maker and Link. With Synthetix, users are able to gain both long and short exposure to all assets on the platform. The protocol synthetic asset, known as synths, are collateralized by the Synthetic Network Token, or SNX. This is the tokenomics that make the investment into the SNX token so powerful, as they are required as an underlying collateral for all of the operations here on the platform. Synthetix also offers binary options, a way to purchase a position on a yes or no outcome over a predefined period. Underpinning the Synthetix ecosystem is a vast number of liquidity incentives rewarding traders for providing capital to the different components of the Synthetix ecosystem. The best place to stay up to date with the ongoing liquidity incentives is through Mintr under the LP Rewards tab. Now, we're going to be going through Mintr, their Synthetix Exchange, and all of the components of this product that make this very compelling from an investment standpoint, that make the token compelling. Why is Synthetix important? Derivatives and other traditional financial assets are a massive market, aggregating hundreds of trillions in total value. I'm going to repeat that. Aggregating hundreds of trillions in total value. This is essentially what people don't understand, is they don't understand the power of derivatives. Most people think, hey, look at Amazon, it's worth $1 trillion. Holy cow. They think, look at the real estate market, worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. They think, look at all these asset classes. Holy cow, fiat currency, almost $100 trillion. Well, guess what? You know what's worth more than all of those combined? It's the derivatives market. Here on Investopedia, we can see that the current derivatives market for the first half of 2019, the total notional amounts outstanding for contracts in the derivatives market was an estimated $640 trillion. Not billion, trillion. Also estimated that the gross market cap was only 12 trillion. Now, the reason why the notional value is higher is because it's something called leverage. I'm sure you've heard of how people are able to put 100x leverage on their trades on BitMEX, meaning if they have $1,000 and they do 100x leverage, they're actually creating a position with a notional value of $100,000, even though they only have $1,000. And so that's what's going on with these big financial players. The big dogs are obsessed with leverage. You can see here that the actual notional value is about 50x larger than the underlying markets. And that's why the derivatives market will always be ballooning in size compared to the underlying market. And so if you're saying, hey, Elio Trades, I bet in crypto we have these crazy market caps, so I bet the notional value of the derivatives market in crypto is astronomical. But it's not. In fact, the notional value of the crypto market is not even as big as the underlying market, despite that in traditional markets, we know for a fact that these markets are 50x larger than the underlying markets. We actually have a derivatives market in crypto that's completely underdeveloped. Do you want facts and data to back that up? I'm glad you asked. Here we have a report that $8.8 trillion were traded in cryptocurrency and spot futures market in Q1. Right? In Q1 of 2020, 8.8 trillion were traded in both underlying and derivatives markets. But 6.6 trillion of that was traded in the spot market, the underlying market. So if you're a math major, you'll realize that only 2.2 trillion were traded in the derivatives market. And that means that the derivatives market is just 1/3 the size of the actual spot market. Meaning that for the derivatives market to reach the same relationship to spot markets that it has in traditional finance, we're gonna need to see it triple, and then we're gonna need to see it 50x. So even if market caps stay completely stable and there's not a single dollar of growth within the market caps of the cryptocurrency industries, we could see the derivatives market 150x from its current position. I bet you're asking, has there been some phenomenal growth in the derivatives market of late? And you'd be right, because a report from Token Insight has shown that Q1 2020 showed a 314% growth over 2019 averages. That's a 3x in 1 quarter from 2019 averages here in 2020, showing that crypto derivatives are starting to catch on. Yet most of these are centralized. And there has been a trend towards more and more decentralization as DEXs start to get their stuff together and the user experience starts to get better and better. People want more decentralization, they want more security, they want less rules, they want less KYC, they essentially want less interference, more freedom. And we see here that DEX volume has surged to the billions towards the end of 2019, and this trend is just continuing to grow. So as we start to analyze Synthetix, what we know for sure is that derivatives should be 50x bigger than underlying markets. Right now, they're just 1/3 of the size. What we know is that there's a trend towards derivatives in cryptocurrency land that's just starting to catch on, as we've seen 3x growth since Q4 of last year. What we also know is that there's a trend towards decentralization, and that derivatives and decentralized derivatives, most of all, have the most room to grow. Because this 2 trillion in crypto derivatives almost exclusively were traded on centralized players, with BitMEX and Deribit and OKX being some of the biggest players here. You can see that all of this is happening in a centralized way. So the decentralized market has so much room to grow, so much room to grow. And what's exciting about Synthetix is it's not exclusively crypto derivatives, although right now that's pretty much what it's dealing with. There is the ability for you to tokenize any kind of asset, equities, commodities, bonds. You could bring these on the Synthetix network, tokenize them, and trade against them. So the opportunity here goes beyond even cryptocurrency. But I'm showing you this here because it's important to realize that there's a ton of data supporting the idea that cryptocurrency derivatives or blockchain-based derivatives en masse really are starting to gain traction. So as we look at Synthetix here, sitting at $3.40 with a market cap of 372 million, we need to understand that this is really nothing in the larger scheme of what derivatives markets are. Hundreds of trillions. This needs to 3x just to get to 1 billion. It would then need to 1000x just to get to 1 trillion. And then it would need to 600x to get to the size of the derivatives market. Now make no mistake, I'm not implying in any way that Synthetix will ever command the entire market cap of the derivatives market. That is the most foolish thing that anyone could ever believe. However, I am implying that it could capture in the future, at some point in the big, broad future, maybe a few years, maybe 10 years or more. However, it could come to occupy 1/10,000th of the derivatives market, some small fraction of this ballooning and ever-growing derivatives market. Any of those would give this coin hundreds, if not thousands or tens of thousands of X's of growth, right? Hundreds of thousands of percents if you're going that way. As I've said many times before, DeFi's hot right now. It's explosive. These market caps, look at this chart. This chart has pretty much gone straight up for the last several months. So the idea that this thing could correct, could come down 50%, 60%, 80%, I don't have a crystal ball. Any of those things are possible. So you never overcommit, right? I've said this so many times that DeFi's hot. You want to spread out your bets and diversify and understand that if something's going to go up 1,000x, 10,000x, You don't need to be greedy here, right? If you put $100 in and it goes up 1,000x, like I said, that's a significant amount of money. If you put in $1,000 and it goes up 1,000x, that makes you a millionaire, right? You do not need to overcommit to this, and I highly encourage you to understand that this whole DeFi house of cards could come crashing down. If you haven't seen my episode I did with DeFi Dad, we explain how people are linking so many of these DeFi projects and protocols together that if a butterfly flaps its wings in Curve, it significantly affects what's going on here in Synthetix and Aave, Lend, whatever. They're all connected now. It's one big ecosystem. It's hot. It's like 2017, the growth. However, that means that it could be like 2018, the crash. No matter how good this seems, even if it seems like Synthetix, like this thing is an absolute monster, you want to be sure, you want to understand that there's tremendous risk in this ecosystem, just like there's tremendous reward. And of course, Synthetix, as this article on July 1st explains, has been surging due to its launch of the ACRUX update, which essentially launched its options, which is what we're here to talk about. You can see this is just a few weeks old, and this shows why Synthetix has been absolutely moving of late, because they just launched their options. They just launched their derivatives, which is the magical part of the industry, which I believe, no matter what, is set to do over 100x growth. The derivatives industry is going to be a titan here in crypto land, just like it is in the normal financial world. And so their launch of this Synthetix derivatives exchange is significant and meaningful. While the possibilities of what type of binary options can be created are limitless, Synthetix has launched a new feature with the ability to purchase options on the price of popular cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, and equities over various timeframes. Best highlighted by the SNX $2 July 9th option, users can purchase a position to go long or short on the price of SNX on July 9th, meaning, do you think the price is going to be over or under $2? And you can make this bet significantly far in the future, and you can take a leveraged position. You're essentially gambling on the outcome of a particular data point, whether it's the price of Apple stock, whether it's the value of a car, whether it's the price of Synthetix, whether it's the value of the total real estate market. These are derivative options that exist, and as you can start to understand, really the opportunity here is whatever you make it, right? People can create derivatives on anything. All of these options are fueled by SUSD, which is Synthetix native stablecoin. Synthetix has experienced a strong growth in the past week as traders rush to lock their SNX, right, their underlying protocol tokens, to get these SUSDs, or to mint them, to participate in the hottest new feature Synthetix has to offer. Now, here we are on Mintr, which is Synthetix sort of native DApp, where they allow you to mint tokens, right? If I want to take some Synthetix, I put a little Synthetix in this MetaMask so you can see. I can take, my 85 Synthetix, it's about $300 or so, and I can mint 38 SUSD. Now, this is kind of annoying, right? Because I'm 750% collateral ratio is what you need here. Meaning I need to put 7.5 times the amount of dollar value in to get these SUSD. And that's because Synthetix is so volatile. Like I said, this thing could crash 50% of its value without warning. So this is an over collateralization that is perhaps a bit dramatic. Maybe in the future, 5-10 years from now, Synthetix might be so stable that it would have a much more, reasonable collateralization ratio. But that's sort of just how they're doing it now to ensure that this doesn't fall apart, right? Because if my collateral essentially falls below the value of these SUSD, in order to ensure that it doesn't, they make sure that I put in 750% of today's value based on my SNX tokens to mint these SUSD. And once I mint them, right, let's just go ahead and mint them now. Now that the minting's in progress, I can start, as soon as these hit my account, I can take these over and start buying and selling options, participating in their Synthetix Exchange, which is where they have all these different markets, right? I can have ADA versus USD, where I can trade just sort of normal crypto assets, right? Tezos, or I can go down the rabbit hole to the options part, which is the newest edition of the Synthetix Exchange. The options, you can see it's here in beta, and you can see Bitcoin at 9,400. If I want a long and I think Bitcoin's going to be over 9,400, then I can put my, I still haven't gotten my minted tokens back yet, but I can long here and put in a bet saying at the maturity date of this contract, which I believe is represented here in 5 days and 32 minutes, or at least that's when they end the bidding. Then I can go ahead and put that in saying I believe it's going to be above that. And whatever percent, if I use leverage, I can then lever that. I'm not going to explain options in depth here, but just understand that this is actually, pretty cool here. I'm going to move the window a little bit so you can see it. I'm actually going to pop back to the other view as well in case you didn't see that. But yeah, you can see they have all these markets here. You can do options on Link at $1,000, right? The option at Link at $1,000 matures at the end of 2021. I think that might be a little soon for a $1,000 link, but that depends on the Bitcoin movement. If Bitcoin's at 100,000 at the end of 2021, then I could see a $1,000 link as a significant possibility. It really depends on a lot of factors. But here, I made a video saying link to 1,000. So, if I want to put my money where my mouth is, I would go in long link at this value, and if link is essentially over 1,000, then I would make the difference in spread based on my initial investment here. As you can see, options are potentially you could say that they're reckless gambling. You could say that they're a lot of things. But the reality is they are the most significant part of the centralized financial world. And for that reason, their impact on the crypto and blockchain industry should not be underestimated. Also, guys, I know this is random, but I'm going to slip this in just to shout out to Crypto Dog. I've been using his new product, Bettermind, here, a nootropic, to try to get more energy, more productivity throughout the day. I'm just really trying to push forward and get as much out of my day as possible. So far, I feel very clear-minded. I feel very energetic. I've had very little coffee. I'm really trying to get off coffee. And so shout out to Crypto Dog. He's got this really cool product called Bettermind. Yeah, so far, this is my first day of using it. I'm going to report on how I feel on it. And yeah, anything that can make you guys function at a higher level cognitively, I think is a blessing. So if this is an all-natural substitute for coffee that can get me off caffeine, which for me causes some tension issues in my muscles, this is something I'm really, really excited about. So I'll let you know how my journey goes. And I just want to say thanks, guys. Right now, FUD TV's hitting 42,000 subscribers. Literally, when I started making videos on July 6th, I had 37K. So it's just been an absolute monstrous growth period for me. Been really awesome, and I'm just feeling blessed, right? The community response has been amazing. I encourage you guys to check out all of my recent videos. A lot of the coins I've been covering have done amazing, amazing gains of late. And so I'm feeling lucky to be able to give you guys great information, and your support means a lot. I encourage you guys to hit that sub button and join the community. It's been a really magical time here, and I'm more excited about the future of this industry, really more than any point in the last 3 years. So that's why I think Synthetix has the potential to be an absolute monster. Despite its incredible growth so far and how people already think that it's already mooned, I like to look at the future of an industry, the future of the potential of decentralization, the future of the potential of the maturity of the crypto and blockchain industry. And if $640 trillion is the current total cap of the derivatives industry, and we know that that will grow every single year as the economy grows and inflates every single year. In 5, 10, 15 years, when Synthetix maybe truly reaches its full potential, the opportunity for it to capture, like I said, 100,000th or 1,000th of that market cap would mean that it would have to grow well over 100x from here, if not 1,000x. And so for me, looking at Synthetix is one of the most exciting projects in the space. Again, like I've said, DeFi is incredibly hot. It's really due for a correction. So seeing it crash at the end of August to some degree wouldn't surprise me. Again, if that happens, I'll be buying a lot of Synthetix. I'll be buying a lot of my favorite tokens here that I've covered over the last few episodes because I'll be getting better deals on them, because I'm not looking down 3 days down the road. I'm not looking down 10 days down the road, even though DeFi can be like that, right? If you go up and you make a 5x growth in a few days, don't be fooled, right? Sell your initial capital, right? Get out and then it's house money you're playing with. Always manage your risk no matter what. But a project like Synthetix really gets me going because the size of the derivatives industry is one of the least talked about, least understood, and most important trends in cryptocurrency. And for me, I see Synthetix as one of the leaders taking this new industry on. Do you think I'm crazy for thinking the Synthetix market cap could grow 1,000x? $1,000 Synthetix token? Is that absolutely wild? Or have I based my logic on enough data points that you can understand why I've gone down this road? You can understand where I'm going with this journey. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm truly curious. If you believe in Synthetix, you'll want this video to reach more viewers. So do me a favor and hit that like button because that'll help reach more viewers. Of course, if you guys are not subscribed to FUD TV, I encourage you to hit that sub button and don't forget to click that little bell notification. That bell is critical because as we've seen, there has been rampant attacks on free speech, rampant attacks on cryptocurrency content. And if you don't hit that little bell notification, you might not be aware when I put out new content. So I encourage you to hit that bell. As always, I really appreciate you watching. My name's Elio Trades. You're watching FUD TV, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.